Well, hello everyone. Dr. Darvish here from Holistic Naturopathic Medical Center here in Bellevue, and we want to talk about food today, food as medicine. So, when I was 16 years old, I was chronically ill, and later at the age of 18, 19, I was diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis, and uh, and I didn't really pay attention to that diagnosis. I went back to the roots of what I had learned from the Baha'i writings. And one of the quotes that I had learned was this: at whatever time highly skilled physicians shall have developed the healing of illnesses by means of foods, and shall make provision for simple foods, and shall prohibit humankind from living as slaves to their lustful appetites, it is certain that the incidence of chronic and diversified illnesses will abate, and the general health of all mankind will be much improved. And so, this quote I took very much to heart. In fact, it was one of the initiators of why I went into naturopathic holistic medicine, looking at food as one of the main sources of healing. Food is something that every one of us needs. It's something that every cell needs in order to make energy, just like oxygen, in order to make energy and keep our heart, lungs, kidneys, everything running. And so the type of food that you put in your system, like the type of gas that you put in your car, can make a difference as to how well that engine is going to work. If you have a biodiesel type of an engine and you put regular gasoline in it, that engine is not going to work. And vice versa. If you've got a gas-based car and you put the diesel in there, that car is not going to run. So it's the same with our system. Every one of us is very unique, and every one of us needs a unique type of food, nutrition, complexity in order to run properly. We need that the proper dose of the minerals, the vitamins, the amino acids, the carbs, the proteins, all of that, the fats, in order to run properly. And for most people, a plant-based diet is what works well. However, some people do better on a meat diet, like a paleo diet or a ketogenic diet, for a short period of time. Typically, if you are ill with cancer or you have neurological disease, a ketogenic diet, which means that it's high in fat, healthy fats, so avocados, raw nuts and seeds, avocado oil, coconut oil, those kind of fats are going to be very beneficial because they're providing the basic building blocks of fats that your nervous system needs to heal. With cancer, the cancer cells cannot run on fats. They run a lot on glucose and sugar, but they cannot run on fats. And so when we provide the body with fats, we're giving the cells healthy nutrition, but then starving the cancer cells. And going on a vegan diet can be beneficial for many people, except again, for long term, it can deprive you of some nutrients. And so in order to eat a vegan diet, you really have to be conscious of the way you're making your food and preparing it. For instance, fermenting your vegetables or sprouting your nuts and seeds and beans and grains will mobilize some of the nutrients in those foods for you to be able to access it, for your digestion to be able to absorb it and break it down properly and absorb and utilize the nutrients properly. If you are just on a vegan diet and you're eating a lot of processed products like chips and cereals and breads and pastas and crackers, you're not going to get the nutrients you need. And as a result, over time, your system will become deprived. It is the same with the ketogenic diet. If you're not sick with cancer or neurological disease and you're on a ketogenic diet for more than 4 to 6 weeks, you're burning through the glycogen stores, which is technically what you want in order to switch over to fat burning, to burn fat. But over time, again, you're making your body very acidic. Your body's forgetting how to burn the sugars. And as a result, over time, you become more insulin resistant, and increase your own risk for diabetes. The same goes with paleo diet. However, paleo diet has this extra problem with over a long period of time, it can become inflammatory and increase the inflammation in your body. So some people start getting joint pains and body aches after being on a paleo diet for too long. My suggestion is to really seek out a physician, a naturopathic physician who's well-versed in nutrition, and together figure out what is the best diet for you. Now, think about the cycles in our world. There are cycles in everything in our world. Seasons are cyclical. The female's cycle is cyclical. The day, sun, moon cycle is a cycle. So we've got all these cycles within our world that we have a tendency to do best in. For instance, if you're going through the season of winter, there are certain diets that I would recommend for winter season for somebody versus for the summer seasons. Parts of the world in the south, closer to the equator, where there is a lot more heat, a lot more sun, people tend to do a lot better on raw vegetables and the raw vegan diet versus in the north here in Seattle, during the winter time, if we're eating a raw vegan diet, we can actually be causing more problems to our body. Other times of the year, it's better to have a higher fruit diet and a lower fat diet, or vice versa. And so it really depends not only on the season, but your lifestyle, the stress factors that are involved with your life, your emotional well-being, your genetics. There's a lot of different components that we need to look at in order to come up with a diet that would be most beneficial for you. So I do recommend that you seek your own provider to understand your metabolic type, the way your body burns fats and sugars and proteins, and different times of the year to seek out what kind of a diet you may need for optimal wellness and well-being. I again recommend you to seek out us at Holistic Naturopathic Medical Center here in Bellevue. Our website is holistichealth.com, and we would be more than happy to have our physicians, there are 6 of us here, that could take a look at your diet and your lifestyle and exercise and sleep patterns and see what would be best for you. So again, thank you so much for listening to this. I hope this was helpful, and we will see you next time.